Hi everyone, back Paul here. So today I'm going to do a video on the Quickshifter. So this is a Quickshifter that's fitted as standard on the MT-09. I've been meaning to do this video for a little while now, but kind of not had chance, and I just wanted to give my kind of thoughts and opinions on this, and based on the amount of miles I've done so far, how much have I used it, and is it a good feature on the bike. So for those of you who might or might not know, Yamaha fit this as standard to this year's model of MT-09. In the States, in America, on the FZ09, as it's known over there, it's an optional and extra, and I believe it's around about $200. The Quickshifter comes from the R1, so the Yamaha R1 is borrowed from that bike, and as a little feature on this bike, I think it's pretty good, because most of the competition around about this kind of price bracket or this level of bike don't tend to come with a Quickshifter. Obviously in kind of direct competition you've got the Kawasaki, the Z900, that one doesn't have a Quickshifter, and also you've got the Triumph range, the Street Triple, and the only bike in that range that comes with the Quickshifter is the RS, which is over £10,000. So in terms of competition, it's a little, like I say, a nice little feature to have, and not something that's offered on most bikes unless you're kind of going higher up the price range, into the maybe 1,000+ cc naked bikes, or then onto the sports bikes. And yeah, it only works on the upshifts, so it's not a downshift Quickshifter, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to. I'm still kind of trying to get my head around it now. I've always had geared bikes, so I've come from a 125 Honda XR125 that were around about 14 years ago, and ever since I've just worked my way up and always had geared bikes. So it's kind of strange at first, because changing without the clutch, definitely a bit of an experience until you get used to it. You're kind of only going to be using this in the higher rev range, so yeah, it's quite an odd experience, because obviously you're going to be revving the bike fairly high or going at a fair speed, and then it's just a case of literally flicking the gear shift up with your foot, no clutch, and at low speeds it can be a little bit jerky, or that's what I found at least. I've not got much to compare it to, because I've never, like I say, used a bike with a Quickshifter, so this is the only one I've ever used. I've not had a third party one fitted to any previous bike, so I can only kind of review this one on its own. But yeah, it's definitely nice and smooth once you're going at the kind of correct speed, or like I say, a higher speed, then it's really smooth. But yeah, we'll take it out today, and we'll have a little ride and a talk through it.
Okay, so it's going to take it out for a little ride. Not certain if you can see the dash or the display or not, because I've got the like sat-nav and phone holder there. There is a Quickshifter light that stays permanently lit up. It lights up in green, so it can be a little bit confusing, because sometimes you can get it mixed up for the neutral light if you're stationary, but you kind of get used to it. That just stays on all the time. It's just to let you know that the Quickshifter is active, and yeah, we'll take it for, like I say, a little spin, do a bit of a mixture of kind of low speed and a bit higher speed riding, and we'll just show the Quickshifter in action, really. Okay, so as I approach this 40 zone, we'll give it a little try. I think it might be a little bit jerky at these kind of speeds or revs, but we can see. So yeah, it clicked into place there. Don't know if you kind of saw a little judder. Personally, like I say, I think once you're going kind of more national speed limit speeds, that's when it's going to be a little bit smoother, as you're working your way up through the gears. So normally, if I'm kind of commuting or going through slow speeds through like towns and villages, I'm going to change just using normal clutch method, as always. If I'm out in the country roads, twisty roads, high speed roads, maybe on the motorway, that's when you can kind of use a Quickshifter a little bit more. So I guess it depends on your style of riding as well, or what you're going to be using the bike for. If you're mainly using it just to get to and from work, then you may not get the full use out of the Quickshifter. But I guess, to be honest, most people are going to be buying this bike to do a mixture riding. What with it being a naked bike, it's perfect for the twisty countryside kind of roads. It's so light and nimble, and you've got all the power and torque. I can't imagine that you'd want to use this bike just for commuting. So yeah, I think on this bike, having a Quickshifter, it kind of perfectly suits it. As to whether I'd buy one if it wasn't fitted, I think I probably still would, because personally it's a great little bonus. It's not something I pay a lot of money for, but at the price it's at, $200 in the States, or if it was on sale here it'd be roughly £150, then yeah, I'd say it's worth it. I guess it all depends, like I say, on the kind of riding you do, but it's definitely something I would be tempted to purchase if I didn't already have one. So one, obviously a bit of a faster road here, so we'll give it a bit more of a try at higher speeds. So yeah, changed twice there, and each time I flicked it up, it's kind of a lot more seamless. So that tends to be what it's built for. The higher speeds, the higher rev range. The lower speeds, it's a little bit more jerky, it's a little bit more notchy. It takes a bit more work to kind of get it into the gear, whereas on the higher speeds it's a lot more natural. You don't feel like you're pushing it. You can just seamlessly flick up on the gear shift and it goes straight into place. But if it is your first bike with a Quickshifter, it may take a little bit of getting used to. So I guess, kind of like to summarise really, would I be personally tempted to get one if it wasn't included? So if I were buying this bike and I was in the States, then yeah, I think ultimately I would get one. I don't know if it'd be the first on my list. If I were upgrading the bike, maybe look at other options depending on whether you're going for kind of like styling or performance, the exhaust or the screen like I've got fitted. But yeah, certainly it would be something that would be on my list, and I'm really happy with it. And I don't use it all the time, but it's there if I want to use it. And like I say, if you're on like roads like this, we'll give it another little go here. There you go, it's as easy as that. It just smooths out the ride, makes it a little bit more fun. You're not having to reach for the clutch. It's only a momentary little thing, but one less thing to think about, as you're going through the gears, or you're on a little ride, you're approaching corners. You just want to be able to accelerate without having to pull in the clutch and kind of match your speed to the revs, because that's the other thing with a Quickshifter. You can just basically flick it up as long as you're going roughly the kind of similar speed and rev range, then you just kind of don't have to think about it as much as you do when you're just changing gear normally. Although obviously that's kind of instinctive if you've been riding a long time anyway. But yeah, I definitely like it. I think it's a great little function. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments, then please ask away. Please subscribe if you want to see some more. We'll put some more on soon. Okay, thank you.